2022, Journal of My Year of Learning.
Hello and welcome to my first YouTube channel. As we emerge from the challenges post-COVID, I found myself taking a deep dive into the complex and rapidly evolving world. From the geopolitical landscape, the explosion of digital technologies, to the financial turmoil, there is no shortage of material to engage with and learn from. In this video, I want to share my learnings and how I've tried to make sense of it all. As I reflect, I feel a sense of obligation to contribute to the ecosystem and build a better future for my 4 gorgeous grandchildren and for the world they will come of age in. Each generation can contribute something to the resolution, and my role as a grey champion will hopefully bring some wisdom and moral clarity. Despite all the verbiage, I will try to journal my progress in this video.
Immersive technology.
I started the year going down the blockchain rabbit hole and the immersive world of Web3 and the Metaverse. The recent lockdowns have transformed everything we do and connect. I realize in this paradigm, current 2D websites, Zoom meetings and entertainment just won't cut it. Demand for lifelike virtual immersive experiences will accelerate their development, narrowing the time when they become mainstream. Because I became so fascinated with this technology, I ended up enrolling in an undergraduate course.
Economy and politics.
Evidently, COVID had significant impacts on the global economy. Global central banks have increased their balance sheets and debt levels through various measures to support their economies, and the debt level rose by $20 trillion in a year. Upon opening after COVID, both an increase in supply cost and strong consumer demand caused inflation to reach decade highs. Governments and the central banks around the world have been using the same playbook to manage fiscal and monetary policies, except this time their balance sheets are already at an unsustainable level. Furthermore, there is risk of a global currency reset occurring, which means the death of fiat money and central banks ushering in their own digital currency. And who knows which bubble will burst next to trigger this. I sought to gain a better understanding of the close relationships between economy and politics by looking back in history. I studied the economic conditions that preceded and followed World War I and the resulting depression in 1929, as well as the rise of Hitler and World War II. I also explored the rise of US as a global power and the formation of international organizations and agreements, such as the Bretton Woods monetary system, the UN, the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, NATO, and the EEC. In addition, I examined the golden age of growth and prosperity in the 1950s and 60s, the inflation crisis of the 1970s, 1987 Black Monday stock market crash, the 1997 Asian financial crisis, the 2000 dot-com bubble, and the 2008 GFC.
This is a good place to segue into politics.
People worldwide are losing trust in governments and institutions. The increasing wealth disparity has contributed to a growing sense of discontent and frustration, leading people to turn to populist leaders in an effort to address their concerns and grievances. Recently, there have been a number of anti-government protests challenging powers that be, such as the women-led anti-regime protests in Iran, the Yellow Vest in France, and Canada's trucker convoy anti-vaccine blockade, and the more recent blank paper demonstration against government COVID restrictions in China.
Industrial revolutions.
Now I will turn my studies on the industrial revolutions and the ways in which technologies transformed civilization. The first industrial revolution saw the adoption of steam-powered printing presses, which led to the production of newspapers and textbooks en masse, allowing faster and cheaper communication. The use of coal contributed to the industrialization of manufacturing industries and to urbanization. In addition, steam-powered railways facilitated the transport of goods nationally. The subsequent industrial revolutions also had significant impacts. The discovery of electricity, oil, and the invention of planes and automobiles were some of the key innovations. We can now communicate, travel, and transport internationally. This led to the globalization of economies and societies, and even changed how we fight wars. We are now in the midst of a tech revolution. The convergence of technologies including artificial intelligence, robotics, Internet of Things, Web3, genomics, autonomous transport, and other emerging technologies will radically transform society as we know it. Meanwhile, climate change has become one of the most pressing issues of our time, and this will accelerate the investments in renewable energy.
The fourth turning.
The book explores the concept of historical cycles and how history follows a cyclical pattern. These turnings are characterized by a series of crises driven by the changing roles and experiences of different generations. According to the authors, we are currently living through a fourth turning, and they discussed how the current Gen X to millennial generation will play a crucial role in shaping the future as they navigate the challenges and opportunities, including economic, social, and political changes, and transition to a new world order.
Conclusion.
In conclusion, there's always two ways how this will play out: utopian or dystopian. The legacy systems built by the silent and boomer generations are beginning to crumble, and the changing of guard and the exponential growth in emerging technologies is inevitable. As an optimist, I believe that the current digital revolution, which is democratizing technologies and significantly reducing marginal costs to nearly zero, will be the game changer. What excites me most is that for the first time, every country, even in the poorest part of the world, could achieve true equality across areas such as accessibility to quality healthcare and top-class education, natural energy, and improved well-being and the standard of living. Of course, there will always be those with nefarious intentions, but some of us can choose to work towards building a better future based on strong values and standards such as mindfulness, empathy, compassion, generosity, and kindness, and create pioneering concepts that can elevate humanity and advance human potential. To end, I will quote the wisest man ever lived. King Solomon said in the book of Ecclesiastes, "There is nothing new under the sun." Yet the Bible calls us to fight the good fight and finish the race, with the overarching command to love one another of the agape kind. So, my ultimate utopia is from Revelation 21. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. 2022 was for me a year of learning and observation. 2023 will be a year of experiential knowledge and application, and an opportunity to set intention for a better and brighter year ahead. I would like to wish everyone a happy and a healthy new year.